Hey everybody, welcome back to Occults Receivable. Anthony here with Theresa, and so we ran into a little bit of a snag. We were originally going to stream BioShock tonight, but apparently 2K Games has made it so that the BioShock collection cannot be streamed on console, which is ridiculous.
Bullshit.
It's bullshit. It came out 6 years ago, and the game BioShock 1 came out in 2007. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to stream this from a console. So unfortunately, we're going to put a pin in that. One day we are absolutely going to play through this. I didn't want to take this away from Theresa, so because she had never played it before. So today we are going to be starting a little game called Raging Loop, which is a visual novel um, that I have little to no knowledge of. It just seemed pretty interesting in terms of content, you know. Uh, so apparently it's raining men, and and
Hallelujah.
hallelujah. This is a crazy opening. What is going on?
Maybe we'll find
Okay.
out.
Yeah. All right. You know, let's just get going. Okay. Let's take a look at some of these options. Oh God, I need fast text speed. I need it. Auto text. That's fine. Skip. Pre-read only. Text. No good. High general. Da, 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 da. Forced unlock. Please use only in unforeseen circumstances such as dated. Oh, okay. All right. Sound. Let's get the shit up there. There we go. Um. Oh, we could. Wait, we could change everyone's voices. God damn.
Oh, okay.
Um.
I think defaults are probably fine.
Yeah. Well, do we want to? Oh, okay. Do we want mid high? Do we want to? Do we want to mute them so we can read them?
Well, I mean, if they've got voice lines, not
Okay.
necessarily.
Okay. Then. All right. That should be fine then. I'm looking for subtitles and I forgot this is a visual novel. Read. I guess that's play. Oh.
Oh, hello. Who's this?
Hello. Uh,
Rikako.
Rikako. Visual novel, Raging Loop. Okay. Part of the interface. Okay. That's true. Yes, please explain things to me. I would appreciate that.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna take our time. And those. Oh. Eh. Yeah, I'll get to that. What? Okay.
We do indeed live in a society. Rikako. You are correct.
What the fuck am I watching right now?
Very meta.
Now where should I begin? This is, you know, I'm good. Let's just go to the main store. Oh, let's find out about this game real quick.
Sure.
See if people can, if Rikako can explain it better than I can. So far so good. Visual novel, got it. The enjoyment does come from reading it.
Yes.
Oh! Familiar with the parties Werewolf and Mafia, this visual novel is a close resemblance to those. Okay, interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay, Rikako.
It's
We
okay.
forgive
It's
you.
okay. sometimes come upon choices which affect the story. It is a choose-your-own-adventure.
Oh.
The characters have lively visual depictions as well as voices. Okay. Yes, that makes it very easy for me to immerse myself.
Oh no,
anguish screams. Oh god. This story is obscenely lengthy. Alright. The region is based entirely around fabricated murders and horrific scenarios. Oh, you mean is it about real scenarios? Real murders?
I guess not.
Okay.
Hey, it's tailor-made for us.
It's tailor-made for us. That's nice. I was really hoping we would get some insight into some real-world events.
I know, right?
Right? Like, what's the point of interacting with anything if it isn't real? Okay, so fictional details about academic. So we just made everything up.
Relying upon it during exams would get you 0 points. How sad.
I like this tongue-in-cheek sort of AI guide.
I really like her, yes.
Okay, so everybody take note. Whatever you see, don't do it because it's illegal.
Yep, don't replicate the crimes you see here.
What? Throw in some shade. God damn. I'm sure you're intelligent enough to realize that this is fiction, but just in case. Alright, you know what? Let's do it. No, it didn't. Yeah, no problem. It's okay, Rikako. Yes, let's do this. The truth of the werewolf village. Okay.
Did she really just say bow?
Yeah, it's like when you say wink and when you wink.
Adorable.
Oh my god, this is coming up.
Oh shit.
May 11th. That's Friday.
But the game says it's Sunday.
But well, we already established that this is fiction.
Oh, that's true. Oh, even the days of the week are fictional.
They're all fictional. Every time is a construct. I closed in on the side of the road and killed the engine. Oh my god! It murdered the engine!
Poor engine! What did it ever do to you?
Oh my god, the first murder of the game! It was steeper than I thought. My bike was on the verge of giving out, so I pushed down and deployed the kickstand. Well, I'm lost. Maybe taking a ride down an unknown road with no sat-nav on me wasn't such a good idea. I just followed the road, so I figured I wouldn't get lost, but now I was in some deep shit. No, cool it. This isn't a big deal. I sighed, took note of the fact that I'd gotten lost in my pocket journal, and then pulled out a map. You wrote down that you were lost in your own journal?
In real time?
In real time, like, okay. Suddenly, a rush of memories flitted into my mind. Forget it. Wait, this is I can't choose
I guess
that
it's
one.
locked.
I guess forget it.
Yeah.
I somehow kept myself from remembering those things. After all, I'd gone on this trip to forget. Dun dun dun. Oh, we get voices now. Okay.
人生はシンプル。つまりこの道のごとく、真っ暗で道案内もなく、進むか返すか。考えることはそれだけ。
I mean, dude, if you're lost, just literally turn around. Just turn around. Go back the way you came. Why not? What
Going back isn't an option, Anthony.
God damn it! Why not?
Because this is a visual novel. If we go back, that's the end of the story.
That doesn't make any sense. Okay. It was all Greek to me. Last time I'd seen a sign, it was still light out, meaning that I'd gotten lost after the sun had set. Sure, it was my own fault for just guessing which intersections I'd been passing through and that it'd taken me 2 hours to conclude I was lost. Crazy to think that just 2 hours of aimless driving got me almost completely surrounded by mountains. 2 hours? 2 hours? If you don't know where you're going for 2 hours, what the fuck is wrong with this kid? They extended as far as the eye could see. If you flipped the scenery upside down and shook it, it's unlikely even a shred of civilization would tumble out. Besides the asphalt below, my sweet ride, and the lamppost, my sweet ride, and the
Sweet
lamppost
ride.
of the first one in a while, mind you, there was nothing man-made here. The pocket map I had wasn't detailed enough for me to figure out where I was.
進むか。
Sure! Keep going straight, idiot.
Oh, I guess we're Haruaki.
Okay. I'd go as far as I could. Worst comes to worst, I could just camp at the side of the road.
Well,
God,
this is a horror visual novel, so...
yeah. 2 hours later, I deeply regretted ever thinking
Wait,
that.
so now are we 4 hours in?
4 hours in driving down this one road when he
Oh
could have just.
boy.
Okay, so he could have gone. He went 2 hours, and then he just could have gone
Yes.
back the other way. But basically, camping wasn't an option. This mountain road had no side to camp on. A dump truck I'd passed barely even fit on it. Okay, so follow the dump truck. I'd also had my first close encounters with wild forest animals. I'd already seen 2 boars and 3 deer in those 2 hours alone. One of the deer had run parallel to my bike while intently staring at me, and I had no idea what to think of that. Yeah, I would also not know what to think of that. I'd felt like it could smell my fear, and did it just to make it worse. How dare the thing do that to a human? We're the kings of this planet, damn it! I'd have to remember to eat some venison once I came back to civilization.
Wow, Haruaki is a prick.
He's a bit of a prick.
Can't wait to get this guy killed.
I know,
Maybe
right?
we'll get a better pro tag.
Anyway, camping out here was a bad idea. I'd end up as either roadkill or animal food. And yet,
Maybe both.
maybe both. And yet, I didn't back out. Why? Because I'm a pretty warped sort of guy, and I won't pretend otherwise.
Yeah, you are, motherfucker.
That was actually the reason why my once comfortable relationship had gone awry, and why I'd gone on this stupid trip. Oh, are you having a bad breakup? Still, despite acknowledging that, I chose to keep moving forward. It wasn't like I'd find a place to stay if I went back. I was actually starting to think that this experience might make a good conversation piece sometime down the road. It was really getting late at this point. Where would these roads take me anyway? It'd probably be disappointing. You sound like a real stand-up guy.
Yep,
Soon enough, the road became flat. I was out of the mountain pass. The forests remained abundant, though, so I still didn't see much. Even so, the streetlights and signs were enough to make me feel I was again nearing civilization. Was streetlights the right expression for lights in a forest? I'd have to look that up. As the road grew less rugged, I realized just how exhausted I was. All this handling had left my hands really sore, too. I really had to rest. Suddenly, I saw something unexpected.
Gasp!
Powerful, colorful, artificial lights. A convenience store?
Santa's house!
Fresh Mark.
I want to go to Fresh Mark.
Where all the marks are at the freshest.
They have all the freshest alcohol and tobaccos.
Yeah, that's exactly
Actually, but
what
that's all they have. I will be disappointed if they have anything else.
It was next to an intersection between the road I was on and another even thinner road that could probably support only a single car. The sea of trees ended, giving room for the majestic child of our consumerist society. What is happening? Yeah, that was an exaggeration. Apparently, even a damn store was a big deal for someone who just stepped out of the wild.
Man, this guy's been driving for 4 hours and he's already
At least.
acting like the
At
victim of a
least.
shipwreck who's been, like, at sea for months.
4 hours at least. Like, this is a day trip, and it's like, oh my god, civilization! It was called Freshbach. I'd seen several of them a few times during the day. It was probably a local franchise. The building didn't look all that old. At least the parking lot looked a lot smoother compared to the roads. It was a pretty weird place to build something like that, though. Was I close to a settlement, or did they actually make a profit off of lost travelers?
A settlement?
I,
That's a
this
strange word
this
from the
dude's
translation.
internal
Whatever.
monologue is all over the charts.
It really is.
I just asked that or something. A local shopkeeper was bound to know what was around these parts, not to mention I was thirsty. Give me your
Yeah, time to drink
freshest
and
mark.
drive.
I was welcomed by a weird chime sound. It looked like a normal convenience store. There were goods on the shelves, a counter on the left, and... Whoa! The worker at the counter was so mean looking it was scary. She looks kind of badass.
Yeah, she does.
She was so imposing, I wouldn't have doubted if someone told me she was in charge of some ladies' army corps.
Wow.
I,
Way to stereotype.
I'm... Okay.
Hey.
Hey! Was that supposed to be a greeting? It was so damn cold it actually gave me chills. Was this store shadier than it appeared? Was I about to be stupidly overcharged? Was this how this place made a profit? By taking advantage of lost people and basically beating them out of their money?
Wow, this guy's imagination is wild.
It's crazy. Yeah, you're just standing there gormlessly, like, being an idiot, and she's like, alright, I'm obviously not paid enough for this shit.
Yeah, this guy's internal monologuing over here.
Shit, that was scary. Clearly, the Wonderland had only just begun. Woohoo! I sure was excited for the beating. I'm sorry, did I stroke out and miss like a couple of lines of dialogue? I
I don't
I
know.
grew more nervous and less enthusiastic by the second. I braced myself, but she just looked down at a magazine in her hands. Oh, so she was just a slacker. Wow, dude. Slightly disappointed, I walked around the store. Well, wait, slightly
What is he
disappointed.
disappointed
Okay,
about? Did he
um,
want the beating? I mean, I'm not kick shaming if that is what he wanted, but
I'm,
I'm very confused.
okay. It was about what you'd expect. There was a small shelf with energy drinks, followed by some stationaries, travel goods, sanitary stuff, etc. There were sweets that came with toys, a shelf of cup ramen and dry food, a fridge, a freezer. It all looked normal. It was late, so the daily dish and packed lunch section was completely empty. The only special thing about this place was the section full of unpacked vegetables you'd expect to see at a greengrocer's. Maybe all rural convenience stores were like this. I was slightly surprised by that, but there weren't any local fine foods or anything, so all in all, it was an unremarkable store, if you ignored the clerk anyway. I took a drink and brought it to the register.
Ha!
Yep, she really was the highlight of this place. What kind of clerk smokes while dealing with a customer? I don't know, maybe you should shut the fuck up, take your drink, and go, dude!
Yeah, just pay for your shit. You're actually buying?
Yes, I was actually buying. She was the clerk, and I'd be her god, the customer. Whoa! Whoa!
Oh.
Whoa!
Take this
Okay.
guy off a cliff.
Oh my
First
god.
the deer, and now this.
126円
126 yen. She didn't even scan it. This exchange was at the mercy of the clerk. God is dead! Oh my god, are we sure this dude's name is not Karen? Maybe I had to get mad at her? What?
Buddy, it's 126 yen. That's nothing. Just pay the woman and go.
That's literally like $1, right? That's $1.
Yeah, that's like $1. That's like $1.25.
ちょっといいですか
Can I ask something?
実は道に迷ってしまって
Oh, wait. So he's got this sort of like, aha, silly me, I'm lost. But in his mind, he's like, I'm the customer. I'm God. Oh my god, I hate this guy. I quickly turned meek. Fuck you, buddy.
街はどっちにあるでしょうかあっちいやそのできれば地図とか
You know what? Buy the map. 2,000 yen.
ない
We don't. Oh man, this
い
woman.
や
I'm not sure I believe that. Convenience stores often get asked for directions. You must have a map handy. Yeah. Wait, why does a convenience store have to have a map, dude? Alright, well, I'm sorry. I guess go into the wilderness and die, buddy. Oh my god, I love the clerk. She's my hero.
She's very good.
Oh, she had to be joking. Like, look at his face. Like, he's got like
know.
this, like the furrowed brow. Like, I don't know how to handle this. Nope, pretty sure I can't help. Go to hell. I feel like I know the clerk's voice from something. The clerk put out her smoke in the ashtray and went to the staff-only area. She came back in no time.
Oh, she has eyes.
Oh, she has eyes.
What's her name?
So she did have a map. Of course she did. Even more ill-tempered than usual, the clerk started giving an explanation. Go to the north of the crossroads, turn left, and go fuck yourself. Okay.
この道いや、この先何もなくないです。書かれてねえだけで集落があんだよ。
Oh.
そこ以外なら
Oh, now you're being picky?
藤吉村まで行くには峠道を2時間。こっちなら30分で着く。
Okay. Fujiyoshi seemed to be a village. It didn't look too far away. She just said it was 30 minutes away. But the road leading to it was a huge branching mess. It was clearly just a paved mountain pass. I'd had enough of those for one day. I'd probably just get lost again.
じゃあ、こっち行ってみます。ありがとうございます。
金。
はい。
Yeah.
払ってねえだろ。
Oh, that's right. You tried to get out off the hook without fucking paying, dude.
ああ、じゃあ500円。
Ding, rustle, jingle.
なぜお釣りを無断で募金箱に入れるんですか？
小銭多いとうぜえだろ。
I mean, that's fair. I don't like carrying change. That was a hell of a line. I casually thanked her, grabbed the plastic bottle of tea, she didn't give me a bag by the way, and left the store.
What the fuck, buddy? You're gonna drink it immediately. Why do you need a bag? Why so wasteful?
Oh
yeah,
look,
the very next line. I drank it in the parking lot. I hate this clown.
I drank the tea in the parking lot and looked up at the moon obscured by clouds, but still bright enough to outshine the light of the convenience store. The clerk put me in a bad mood, though, so I didn't enjoy the sight. I threw the bottle into a nearby trash can and aggressively drove away. Guess what, buddy? I'm pretty sure you put the clerk in a bad mood, too.
Yeah.
Following the directions, I crossed the overpass and arrived at the first fork in the road. The byway she told me about was really narrow. I probably wouldn't have noticed it were it not for the tall boulder standing there like a roadside shrine for some traveler deity. Turning carefully, I got on the road. A minute later, I found myself in an even worse wilderness than before. A veil of dead leaves covered the ground. Tall grass sided the path, and the sky above was blocked by overgrown shrubs, making it feel like I was passing a wooden tunnel. The road itself was a huge red flag. It was a wonder why I didn't just turn around.
You just spent like 5 hours soliloquizing on why you can't turn around.
I know. This guy is all over the place.
Yeah, he is.
The exchange from before might have pissed me off more than I thought. I gotta keep driving forward to work off my man anger. Still, I really didn't expect the road to just end. Oh, he's dead.
Oh, that's okay.
It happened about 15 minutes in. The view ahead suddenly turned strangely dark, and a split second later, the bike tipped forward. I reflexively hit the brakes, but it was too late. I started going down a cliff. My bike tilted downwards, and its suspension was put to the greatest test yet as we basically tumbled down to the bottom. The headlights suddenly shone on some dirt and grass. I knew that I'd be flung out of my seat. You just hit light speed. Stifling a scream, I tried to work some steering and brake magic to slow down without collapsing. But that was too big a task for a simple road bike. At the bottom of the cliff, it jumped higher than ever before. The suspension couldn't handle the impact, and I was launched into the air. A moment later, I heard a crash and felt an impact, after which came an unpleasant pain, as opposed to a pleasant pain.
Well, he did want to get beat up by that hot clerk, so...
That's fair. An accident where I was flung out like that was a first for me. The launch was really something, too. I did a 360 in the air and fell on my back. My breathing stopped for a moment, and the pain was so bad I thought all my bones shattered. My face and limbs seemed pretty fine, at least, though I wasn't sure if that counted as a silver lining. Oh, thank God, your face.
Oh, I was so worried about his face.
There was grass under my hands. I felt it even through the gloves. That and the smell of green made it pretty clear what I had landed on. I pushed down and my hands sunk. This grass growth was pretty hefty. It was probably the reason why I came out relatively okay. Sure, my joints creaked when I stood up, but aside from that, I was fine. It was really dark, so I couldn't really confirm it, but I was pretty sure I wasn't even bleeding. My bike, however, wasn't nearly as lucky. It was bleeding everywhere.
His bike is bleeding.
Oh, where am I going to get all this blood for my bike? It was lying on its side a short distance ahead. The engine was still on. The back wheel kept on turning, making an unpleasant fricative noise. Never heard that word. Yep, it was busted. I walked up, killed the engine, the second murder, and took the key. With the headlights off...
Now, second or third, because the bike is now dead, and then he killed the engine.
Okay, third murder.
Okay.
With the headlights off, I was surrounded by absolute darkness, so I just stood and waited until my eyes adjusted. I still couldn't see very clearly, but it looked like this actually wasn't a cliff. I was still on a road, it just wasn't paved beyond this point. Obviously, a road bike stood no chance against an unpaved road. That woman actually tried to kill me.
This man has clearly never worked customer service.
Yeah, seriously. Zigzagging through the trees, I followed the narrow footpath deeper into the forest. I tried getting my bike up and running again, but instantly gave up. It was partially stuck in mud, so there was the risk of it slipping and getting me into another accident. Maybe I had to turn around? The moment I considered that, I thought I saw a faint light ahead. If that woman wasn't lying, the road led to a settlement. Was I close? I reached into my jacket's pocket, took out my phone, and opened it up. As you'd expect, I was out of range. I ran the light app and shone a light to see better. Though weak, it was better than nothing. At the very least, it helped me watch where I was going. I had no idea how long I'd been walking for, but sure enough, I could see a light beyond the shrubs. It was weaker than expected. A flashlight, perhaps? I could hear water, too. I might have been near a river. I raised my voice. Still declaring my presence, I walked forward. It was late at night. Were I to bump into someone here, the scare would probably take away a few years of our lives. That was why I figured it was best for us both to let the other know we were here before that happened. However, there was no response. Could they not hear me over the rapids? I showed my light ahead and realized I'd made it to an opening.
I can't wait.
I know, right? Sure enough, there was a river, or a stream, rather. I could see slightly more than I had while surrounded by trees. Straining my eyes, I saw a rocky river beach and the shallows. The light I'd seen was on the other side. From what I could tell, it was either a lantern or a flashlight, and was close to the ground. I didn't see any people, though. No one responded to my shouting, either. I wasn't excited about it, but I decided to step into the water. The cold water quickly soaked my shoes and socks. I could have taken them off, but I figured that crossing a river barefooted at midnight was a bad idea. But man, was it cold. I put my phone back into my into my jacket. I needed both my hands free in case I fell. Not stopping or backing down, I walked toward the light. Oh, please be dead. It suddenly became deeper. The water reached my knees now. That was too close for comfort. Feeling the bottom with my toes and balancing myself, I somehow avoided losing my footing. The flow was fiercer than I'd expected. If I slipped and fell, I'd probably be washed away. It suddenly hit me I was doing something really weird, but it was too late to back down. Putting my hands on the boulders and carefully checking what I was stepping on, I gradually made it to the other side. Then, with an unpleasant wet sound in my every step, I walked up to the light. I could already see it clearly. Yep, it was a flashlight lying on the ground for some reason.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Ours now.
There wasn't much space here. It was a narrow riverbank with a cliff right beside it. As you'd expect, I didn't see or sense anyone nearby. What the hell? Though old, the flashlight was working fine. The strength of the light told me the battery was pretty full. That meant that someone was actually using this tonight, or rather, until just a few moments ago. That was the most logical conclusion. It obviously wasn't left here yesterday afternoon or evening. And yet the user was nowhere in sight, and I was near a river. Did something bad happen? Did the flashlight's owner step into the stream and get swept away? That was the most likely and worst possible scenario. However, the flashlight was left there practically buried in the pebbles. It didn't seem like someone placed it there to light things up. It was the dead of night. There was no way you wouldn't notice dropping your flashlight when it was so dark. Right, the fact that a light source was left at a place like this was strange by itself. With that considered, what was going on here? What if someone heard my stupid shouting and decided to lure me in with a light so they could ambush me?
Where is this set?
We're
in Japan, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming. Where would they attack
Modern day
from?
Japan, there was a
Above?
convenience store. Oh my god.
Ah! I heard a voice the moment I looked up. The rock cliff was actually made up of several boulders. There was a face peeking from behind one of them.
こんばんは。
ああ、人だ。びっくりした。
That was my line.
悪いんだけど、それ取ってもらえます？
The voice was feminine. I finally realized what was going on.
落としたってわけです
What clue us in? I picked up the flashlight and pointed it at the source of voice.
Yeah.
A high-pitched voice, slender hands shielding the light. Sure enough, it was a young woman.
眩しいな。
失礼。ちなみに、こっちはこういうもの
This
で
is
すが
me! Look! Gaze upon me!
I am a man, a manly man.
I'm a manly man!
怖いです。下から照らさない。
You're creepy, dude.
実は、当方道に迷っており。
A bit lost? Sir, you are very lost.
だとすると、割と究極的
Ah, she has a brain. I like her.
Yes, I like her as well. Call out that man's bullshit.
Yeah, I thought as
ここっ
much.
て、人里です。
No, this is a river.
難しい質問だな。
とりあえず、助けてもらえないかと。
I've never played a game where so little was said in such a long amount of time.
Right?
助ける？
雨露しのげて、野生動物がいなければ何でもいいんで。
The rain? Okay. Standing on a boulder, the young woman made a pensive face.
じゃあ、打ちきます？
And that was the conclusion she'd arrived at. Her face told me she was 100% serious. Place. My place. By that, she surely meant a house. A settlement. Who thinks like this? Nobody thinks like this!
This guy does.
頼んどいてなんですが、遠慮を忘れてすがりたい程度には切羽詰まってるんですが。
Okay.
男として？
Gender rules.
Gender rules.
一個の生命として数時間迷った挙句
A living
マイクで
being.
解けて心身ともに限界ってわけです。
Ugh.
あらら。 なら見捨てるのもどうよって感じじゃないです？一個の生命として。
Probably a smart one. I'm willing to bet.
Yeah. Yep.
And so I was saved. Oh, the beauty of living beings looking out for each other. Hey, what about where was this sentiment when you should have been looking out for the clerk that you professed yourself to be the god of?
じゃあ手いいです？
ん
ここ一人じゃ登れないでしょ。
True. Honestly, I didn't even realize I'd have to. Meeting another person filled me with relief, which was followed by a sudden wave of fatigue. It wasn't crippling, though. She extended her left hand, so I grabbed it with my own left. Her slender fingers were stronger than expected. She ripped my hand off. The girl's name was Chiemi Serizawa. I asked if she was related to the Shinsengumi guy, but she said that her family just adopted the name at some point in the Meiji period.
She's totally related to him.
Oh, yeah. She was a 21-year-old who went to a college far away from here.
Holy shit. This girl is 21? Like,
Yeah.
they actually gave us an above 20 character.
An adult? Yeah.
An adult? Holy cow.
This was her hometown, and she was spending her post-exams vacation here. We chatted about stuff like that when she led me out of the rocky ravine. There was actually a proper path, so the rock climbing was pretty pointless, but I was too focused on my footing to comment. She told me about herself as soon as we reached solid ground.
ちなみにそちらは？
Can we maybe, like, find out why she was out here?
名前
Well,
は
you know,
フサイシ
just doing
ハルキ
stuff.
東京で大学院生やってます
Doing stuff?
あ、じゃあちょっと年上。
24だから芹沢さんと3つ違いかなでもまあ
Whatever you say, Grandpa.
Right?
ちえみでいいですよ。敬語とかもいらないです。
じゃあ
Yeah,
僕
don't
も
be formal.
呼び捨てタメ口がいいな
ですか？
女の子に親しくされてるみたいで嬉しいからね
Creep! Creep!
Push him in the ravine! Push him in the ravine! You're out in the middle of nowhere. He'll never be found.
Hell no.
じゃあ遠慮なく。
どうぞどうぞちなみにまだ結構遠い
そうでもないかな。もう5分くらい頑張りましょい。
Hang in there, Chief. What a lively girl. You could tell she was used to people.
ただ足元に気をつけて。明かりだけ見て。
That's kind of weird. Just focus on just the light.
何かあるの
この辺石ころだらけで危ないんだ。
Excuse me. The moment she said that, I stumbled on a rock too big to be called a pebble.
あと今夜はずいぶん暗いしね。
Okay. I couldn't even see the moon anymore. Nodding in agreement, I focused on following the light in her hand.
ちょっと待っててもらえます？着替えちゃうんで。
And so I did just that. Given this was a mountain settlement, I'd expected some old wooden house, but she actually lived in an apartment block. It was too dark to get a look at it. All I could see were the cheap-looking walls, like you'd expect from some old boarding house for students. Also, she lived on the second floor, in room 202. I'd heard some raindrops as we were climbing the rusty stairs, but now it was really pouring. Between that, the darkness, and the large tree right next to the building, it was nearly impossible to see what was going on outside. It felt like I was all alone in a world of nothing but the walls, the door, and the fluorescent lamp above my head. It made me feel somewhat helpless. I distracted myself from that by imagining her changing. Wow!
Creep!
Creep! Eventually, the door opened
お
up.
待たせ。上がって。
All smiles, she showed herself now wearing sports clothes. This was kinda exciting.
何にもないでしょ。
何にもないね
Look at this place where I live. It's completely empty. Isn't that weird? Haha, you're gonna die.
でも冷蔵庫の中はほら
素晴らしい
Is it beer?
飲みますか。
It's beer.
It's beer.
やったぜ
Yeah, her place really was empty. It was just a small room with a low table in the middle, a fridge near the door, and a large duffel bag deeper in. There were two old-looking bookshelves, too, but they were completely empty. I wasn't bothered one bit, though. Any girl's room was a wonderland to me. Ugh. Dude,
Ugh.
women are people. Like, that's... there's nothing, like, super amazing and exotic about, like, it's just, they have things in their room just like you have things in your room.
No, they're mystical creatures. Anthony.
No, they're not! I think she's gonna kill him.
I hope she does.
We opened up our tents, knocked them together, and downed them. Like, okay, but before we go any further, before this starts getting suggested, because I feel like we're on that path now. So she's out in the middle of nowhere with a light, for no other reason than she's out there. It's pretty obvious that this is sort of like, you know, essentially a siren song.
Yes.
She's going to do something to him. So, hey, it was actually good. The pleasant bitterness and the refreshing carbonation made for a good combo. I don't know what beer you're drinking. I've never had a beer I enjoyed. She's 21
Oh my
and
god.
you're 24,
Okay,
dude.
Grandpa.
Oh my god.
愛や将来にもまだ絶望してません。
ところが就活という影が迫る。
Oh, no. No, let's not talk about job hunting.
いややめて。せっかくのビールがまずくなる。
Where did she get food? Oh, I guess she had some in the fridge.
She must have, yeah.
She laughed and took a huge sip. It was pretty clear she could hold her drink.
It's fucking beer.
It's beer. It's beer. That aside, something really bothered me.
Oh, do tell us, Haruaki.
何？
Her cheeks were already red. Maybe she didn't handle her liquor as well as I thought. She had a well-featured face, and I didn't think it was wrong to consider her beautiful. Sure, her clothes weren't the least bit sexy, but I could tell she had some makeup on.
Oh my god.
正体不明の自称迷い人だよね。
そうね。
君は年頃の女性。今は深夜。ワンルームの密室で男と二人っきり。その上アルコールまで入ってしまった。
I'm gonna laugh when you
Thinking
die.
this guy is a creep.
おお。
身の危険を感じたりとかは
Don't you think this is dangerous for you? She kept gulping the drink even as she formulated a response. The very fact that I could just watch her do that made this a pretty risky situation, and yet...
あんまりないかな。
それは。
芹沢千恵美クイズ。
Okay.
Yay!
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 ふと気づいたら低層が瀬戸際にもかかわらず芹沢千恵美は特に身の危険を感じない。なぜでしょう？
Very direct question.
I mean, fair. What a fun girl. This only made me like her more, increasing the danger even further.
質問 OK?
どうぞ。
Okay.
僕のことがいい人っぽいという答えはなしでいい。
No, you look like a fucking creep, Haruaki.
You really do. You just look like a big fucking douchebag.
悪い人に見えるってわけじゃないけど、まあなしかな。女の子慣れしてそうだし。
I experienced it getting dumped.
That unintentional compliment showed that she actually did see me as a potential danger.
考えられる回答は大きく
What?
想定外だが
This is some weird fucking psychological
想定通り
dumbassery.
Yeah.
There's nothing bad to happen, but wouldn't be bothered if it did, or you actually want something to happen.
うん？
No, that's
前者
no.
はいろいろ考えられるかな。例えばちえみちゃんが何かやけっぱちになっていてどう
Oh, I
にも
hope
な
she
れんっ
kills
て
him.
場合
I hope this, like, I mean, this is called Raging Loop, so I imagine that, like, there's, like, a time loop somewhere in here. I hope he
Yeah.
just keeps getting killed over and over and over again.
あるいは
No, I was hoping for a new pro tag. A better pro
実は
tag.
護身術の達人で僕なんか軽く乗せるとかね。
Kick his ass. Do it.
わあ、論理的。春秋さん理系だね。
What? I guess you can say... No, I don't think you can.
No.
例
えば私がエロエロですとか
Wow, talk about not mincing words.
酔っ払ってきたな他には何があるでしょう
Indeed, what other reason could a woman have to bring a stranger to her home? What? Like, there's a billion other reasons. It would surely be something non-standard, like... Okay, you want to use me.
例えば、アリバイ工作。君がここにいたと、後日僕が証言することで。
Okay,
Wow.
I mean, I guess that's fair.
おーちゃっかり利用するわけだ
Maybe she's just a nice person, dude.
あるいは、
Or maybe you're a serial killer.
Yes.
Oh,
I hope
oh,
it's
please.
that one.
Oh, I hope it's this one.
はあヤマンバいいねブッシュブッシュ殺しちゃう
Splosh, splosh? What kind of sound effect?
Maybe she's gonna drown him. Who knows?
Okay.
ちなみに前提で出た2つのケースの他に1つあるよ
あれ
Okay.
抜けて。
うん私がとってもいい人で
Yeah,
春秋さんを
that's what I said.
一心だっていうケース
Nah, there's no
Nah.
good people in the world. I'm a jaded asshole at 24. Was it time for me to be ashamed of my filthy mind?
Yes.
Yes.
You should be ashamed.
いやでも、それで自分が襲われるかもって考えたら。
Ugh.
うわあ襲うって言っちゃったよこの人
Dude, just dude. No.
一般論ね。
Oh my god. She stopped talking and turned red. It was so cute I thought she was actually doing it on purpose. Man, was she drunk. And we were just on our second cans.
じゃあこういうのは止めないともっとひどいことになるそれはさすがに忍
Oh,
びないな
I guess she's trying to save him from something out there.
ごめん。もうちょっと詳しく。
この辺りには怖い野生動物が出ます明日にはこの人はズタズタに
Yeah, like that deer that made
Nothing of value
unblinking
would have been lost.
that deer that made unblinking eye contact with me as it ran alongside my motorcycle.
Right?
このまま見捨てたらとても寝覚めの悪い思いをするかもしれない
Man, if I drove anywhere where a deer was running parallel to me staring at me, I would have stopped and gone the other way. Like, I don't care
Yeah.
how long it would have taken. Like, if a deer is making unblinking eye contact with me, get the fuck out of there.
なるほど。リスクと善意を天秤にかけるってわけか。これは想定外。
Hey, Haruaki, I've got news for you. Most people do that because
Yeah.
most people aren't sleaze bags.
Yeah, that should be the default.
Yeah.
想定外かこの人だいぶ悪い人なんじゃないかって気がしてきたな
Yeah.
Thank you, Chiemi. Thank you.
え、そう
Oh, you're not bad. You're just an idiot.
だって善意を選択肢に入れる前に殺人鬼とかアリバイとかエロエロとかさ
Yeah, that definitely says more about Haruaki than it does anything else.
Yep.
ヘロエロは君が言い出したんでしょうが。
No, you were thinking that.
You were thinking it.
で答えは
Oh, music went away.
これって単なるバカ話じゃないの？
正解者には素敵なプレゼント不正解者はブッシュブッシ
Splosh,
ュ殺します
splosh. Seriously?
Yes. I am
Okay.
deeply curious about the locked options.
Me too. Okay. I'm thinking you'd feel guilty if you let me die.
I agree.
Okay.
ピンポーン正解です
Yeah, I was right for now. Until I know the truth and I know what that locked option is.
Right?
Oh, cool.
まあ実際
Well, I wasn't joking. Oh, I can just let them talk.
野犬にクマ
Okay.
し 鹿とイノシシは実際見たけど、クマもいるの？
Moon bears.
Moon bears. They sound wonderful.
What is this soundtrack, by the way?
なんてワイルドな。
It's the soundtrack.
This does not seem to fit the situation.
Ooh, there's something even worse.
なんだろう。クマよりヤバい動物？
Pervy men.
Snakes, monkeys, crows, spiders.
No. No.
No.
Pervy men.
Huh? Were they venomous or something? I really doubted that. Those really didn't seem worse than bears. Oh, okay, wolves are bad.
日本には狼はいないでしょう。
Are there wolves in Japan? That doesn't
That's a
seem
good
right.
question.
I feel like there are wolves in Japan.
To Google.
She smiled and drank out of the bird can.
やめとく。
Okay. She is trying to get me super drunk. I wasn't too sure, but I felt like she dodged the subject. Perhaps I wasn't being cautious enough. But then again, I'd been wandering aimlessly for a long time by now. I had enough recklessness in me to enjoy sharing a drink with a cute, if shady, girl.
You're the shady one, bro.
I know, right?
Also, there were wolves in Japan. They had two distinct species, but they are both considered to be extinct now.
No!
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Alright, well, I guess we survived the night. Also a shame.
I know, right? The last thing I remembered was our little, when was the last time you pissed yourself while sleeping talk. I had to tell her about the time I got so drunk I wet my pants in the middle of the boarding house. Why was this a topic of conversation? She laughed so hard she started frothing at the mouth and passed out.
Oh my god.
What? I woke up with a splitting headache. What? Oh man.
It's
Morning
fine.
already? Light poured in through the frosted window. I pulled out my phone and checked the time. 7 in the morning. I'd gone to sleep somewhere between 2 and 3, which probably wasn't quite enough sleep. At least I didn't wake up to some horror movie scene. The building wasn't in ruins and the girl wasn't actually a skeleton. Though, in a way, this might have been worse. She was spread out on the floor on the other side of the mini-table. Her breathing was mixed with some weird gurgling sounds. I hesitantly looked at her. The saint that saved me from the hell I was in last night had puked in the middle of her sleep. What was I supposed to do here? Be a gentleman and pick and clean it up? Help her? As a guest, I couldn't really be too harsh on her.
Chiemi-chan?
She wasn't waking up. Well, I just do what little I could. I will do the bare minimum.
Bubbles.
There, that should be good enough.
Yeah, you're right. He would do the bare minimum.
I'd used tons of toilet paper to clean up her mess and flush it down the toilet. It left a stain on the floor, but it was dirty to begin with, so whatever. I'd even wet a towel and cleaned her face. Even then, she showed no signs of waking up. Some of it was on her hair and clothes, but I figured it was best if she took care of that herself.
Chiemi-chan.
The first hint of consciousness so far today.
ちょっと出ておくから。
Without waiting for a response, I walked to the entrance. She'd have to take a shower and change and all that, so I'd kill time outside. I stepped into my still damp shoes with my bare feet, my socks were in the washing machine with the towel she gave me to wipe my legs, and reached for the doorknob. I opened the door and was greeted by a gust of wind. The raindrops gathered on the leaves of the tree next to the building flew right into my face, making me grimace. The rain from last night was already over. The sky was pretty clear, but despite that, I noticed the visibility of my surroundings was poor. The building was surrounded by leaves. The old structure was basically buried in a forest of trees about as tall as itself. There were branches poking into the exposed hallway. It almost felt like they'd reach out and grab me if I wasn't careful. I kind of felt like I was in an overgrown ruin. I turned around and saw the room and Chiemi just as I left them. Yep, it was all real. I closed the door. There were other rooms in this building, which made me wonder if they were occupied. Hell, I wondered the same thing about the area in general. I pushed the branches aside to see if there were other buildings nearby. Suddenly, something entered my vision. Oh, it's Rikako. It didn't feel right. Something that shouldn't have been there. The leaves I moved revealed a woman clad in curious clothing. The moment I recognized her as such, she opened her closed eyes. Did our eyes meet? Another strong wind. I shielded my face from the spray of raindrops. When I looked outside again, the woman was nowhere in sight. Was that an illusion? If not, then what? What kind of place was this? It could have been a real Hicksville, a marginal village, a bunch of actual ruins, or an illegal settlement. I had some theories, but I set them aside for now. It seemed like a place worth exploring regardless. I went down the stairs and found no sign of the woman, or anyone else for that matter. A short distance away from the building, I turned around, and sure enough, it was pretty much covered in trees. I went to the place where I saw the woman. There were footprints in the grass here. Maybe I'd find her if I followed them. They led me to an open area. It was unused, but it looked like someone was trying to do something with it. Was it supposed to be a construction site? Even if it was clearly abandoned. There were large rocks and lots of sediment near a prefab. From what I could tell, there had been a giant landslide, which forced them to stop construction. The fact that plant growth was still minimal meant that it had happened fairly recently. The footprints seemed to be going down the hill next to the site. Following them, I finally saw something that could be called civilization. There was a set of paddy fields with houses nearby. So this actually was a settlement. What a relief. I decided to keep following the footprints and approach the settlement. I came across another unpaved path that was clearly used by people and cars. It was lined with weeds and bushes reaching up to my waist. It was home to caterpillars and grasshoppers among other things. Spiders were no exception. There was no shortage of insects there, so it was a good place for a net. I wasn't particularly scared of spiders, but I didn't like them either. At least they were just harmless orb weavers. Regardless, I avoided these bushes, just in case, and followed the path like the good city boy I was. There was a large boulder surrounded by grass. It was strangely tall, making it look like it was put there by people. On its dewy surface, there was a gray tree frog, ready to go after the many insects scattered about. Show us the frog. I walked a bit further and came across a house with a small field nearby.
I can't believe it told us there was a frog and then
And
didn't show us the frog.
I know. The field's location made it safe to assume it belonged to the inhabitants. If there were inhabitants anyway, I couldn't see anyone, and just like always, there was grass everywhere. There was another boulder standing next to the house. This one was obviously placed there by human hand. What was the point? Was it a monument or something? The footprints continued into the field. The wet mud on the field was full of small, young, but healthy-looking rice plants. If you ignored the standing boulders in the area, the place looked like a normal farming village. I was both relieved and worried at the same time. From what I saw, there weren't any other buildings besides the ones in this settlement. Everything beyond was just mountains, meaning that this place was completely isolated. And I was a complete outsider.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way things would go well if I ran into a random local.
Why?
I don't know.
What the this guy is all over the place.
I belatedly crouched to hide myself a bit. It was probably best for me to go back. Jimmy might have been looking for me.
Probably not.
Probably not. Suddenly, a local! I heard a sound. I looked for its source and found a speaker on a wooden utility pole in the middle of a small plaza. A morning broadcast?
Where did the plaza come from?
I
were
don't
just
know.
in rice fields.
I'd never heard this tune before. It was cheerful at first, but had some parts that seemed really dark. I found it unsettling. Perplexed, I
Good.
stopped walking, and what happened next made me hide myself. What happened next made me shit myself.
Okay, please tell us what happened next.
There was a person in the area densely surrounded by houses.
Behind
But
that rock, I'm assuming.
they weren't normal.
Oh.
Whoa!
Grandma!
Grandma! What was with that appearance? What was that on her face?
Just a little triangle.
I know, it's just some cloth, dude. Though I was a fair distance away, I could see an old woman with some sort of cloth over her face shakily walk out from between the buildings. Oddly enough, there were boulders even there. But even weirder was the fact she walked up to one of them, lightly joined her hands, and bowed her head before it, her face still hidden. Then all was silence. It actually looked like she was revering it. To me, it looked like she was praying to it.
Yes, you just said that.
Yeah, this was bad, really bad. Why?
Why?
I'd wandered into a settlement with a unique culture, to put it lightly.
What the fuck?
Forget causing trouble. An outsider like me would get killed here. I just turned around and ran for it. Oh my god. This is like a master class of just making shit up in your head. I dashed up the hill, past the house, through the construction site, until I arrived back at the apartment building. Jimmy looked like a relatively reasonable person. Maybe she could tell me what was up. It just hit me that the way she described this place was somewhat weird. She basically said it wasn't normal.
あるいは、ちえみちゃんが恐るべき殺人鬼で、僕を酔っ払わせてぶっ殺す。
Yeah.
はあ、ヤマンバ。
Evil Mountain Witch, Splosh Splosh.
ブッシュブッシュ殺しちゃう。
No way. What if she was actually the bait they used to lure outsiders here? I mean, eventually the broadcast stopped. Chiemi still hadn't come out of her room. She didn't respond even when I knocked or called out to her. I didn't have to worry about this, right? That just made my inexplicable unease grow worse. What if this was a trap? Was I in a dangerous situation? I had to talk to her. If she was a normal person, anyway. Maybe my best option was to run away right now. I wouldn't know where to run. I couldn't remember the path we'd taken here, though I was pretty sure we'd went uphill, so maybe I had to go down? Down?
Down?
If I avoided the settlement and went back to the mountain stream, I could escape by following the wild roads. That was my best option, even with the difficulties considered. Thankfully, I'd taken my bag with me.
But not your socks.
Yeah, those socks are gone. I took out a 5,000 yen note and put it in Chiemi's newspaper box. It was payment for last night's beer. The moment I turned around to take my leave, the door to the room next to the staircase opened slightly with a creak. I saw an eye glaring at me through the gap. Her high-pitched scream pierced my eardrums. I screamed too, scared shitless, and ran for it. Suddenly, I stepped onto the wet hallway floor at a bad angle. I fell.
Oh no.
Oh no, I fell. Womp womp. Thud, thud, thud.
Haru-chan!
Is that him falling down the stairs?
I think so.
ああ、誰このおっちゃん。
Ah!
あなた、誰ですかっていうか、大丈夫ですか
The reasonable sounding voice prompted me to shake off the pain and raise my head. There were two boys in formal-looking school uniforms. One on the left isn't a boy.
Nope, not a boy.
Not a boy.
大丈夫ですか
He repeated the question.
ああ、ちょっと驚いただけで。
おっちゃん、ちえねえの友達
Chie,
ああ、ちえみちゃんのことか。
大学のお知り合いですかお知り合いが来るなんて聞いてなかった。
いや、いろいろあって助けられたんだ。怪しいものじゃないんだ。怪しく見えるだろうけど。
That is hard to believe, buddy.
I just got into some trouble and she helped me out. By the way, I'm not shady. I know calling attention to that is shady in and of itself, but you should just ignore that.
I'm not shady, I promise.
These school uniforms look like they're really old, like from the 50s or 60s, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The hats more than the jackets.
Yeah,
but
more the hats.
どうすればいいのかな。とりあえず名前は久石春明と言います。
僕は織部安永です。こっちは鴨志田近持。
モッチーだ。
Mochi.
That sure is a name.
It is. It sure is a name. Good to know. If I called him that, maybe he'd stop calling me old man. I was only 24.
No, you're ancient in
You are a billion
Japanese
years
years. Yep.
Apparently, this Haru-chan was the person who looked at me through the gap in the door and
とりあえ
screamed.
ず大丈夫そうだから出ておいでよ。
A moment later, she slammed the door shut, and after a few more moments of hesitation, opened it again. Whoa. She looked like a student too, except her fashion sense was exceptionally flashy.
あなた誰ですか？
久石春明といってこの近くでバイクで事故って芹沢千恵美さんに助けられたんだ。
え？それってもしかして昨日の夜 CNA の部屋に。
Yes.
あ、うん。止めてもらった。
She cut my words short with her ear-piercing shriek.
通りで騒がしかったと思った。何考えてるの？嫁入り前の女性の家に不潔。
Okay.
ああ、うん。それはその通りで、僕もちょっと躊躇はしたんだけど。
Leave, dude. Just leave. You're just. If things are just gonna keep getting worse, leave.
ちえみちゃん？あれなれしい。それじゃあもしかして CNA が出てこないのって。ドアに5000円挟んであるぞ。
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Ear-shattering scream.
久石さん、まさか。
違う。単に昨日お酒をおごられたか
She
ら。
just got me drunk.
CNA の体が5000円ってそんな安いのないでしょ。ただれてるな。
What the hell were these kids saying?
君、助けてくれないか?
Oh no, he's giving you the stink eye, dude. You're
Yeah.
done.
初対面で女性の部屋でお酒を飲んだんですか？そして CNA は出てこない。
So did these guys just take the $50? Like, I think that kid just took the $50 and like pocketed it.
Yeah, I like that.
Crap, I had no allies here. And so the subject of the conversation joined in.
おお、ちえみちゃん、君からも事情を説明。
Yeah, tell him about all the great sex you had, Chimi-chan.
Yeah, do it. And something was off about her aura. What happened to the lively girl she'd been yesterday? She's hung over, dude!
She's hung over, dude! How do you make it to 24 and not know what a hangover looks like?
CNA、まさか。
難しいとこを見られちゃった。おお。
What?
いや、ちょっと待って、ちょっと。
もう嫁いけない。
God.
Good, fuck with him. Oh my god, that screeching.
Not great, yeah.
Not great. Man, what a mess. Though Chiemi's face was all pale, she was actually grinning. She obviously had a bad hangover, but that didn't stop her from messing around. After calming everyone down, Chiemi explained what actually happened. How we met in the middle of the night. How she let me stay out of goodwill. How we drank ourselves silly, and how nothing happened between us.
いやー、久々に深酒しちゃって思いっきり吐いちゃったよ。春明さん、お見苦しいとこ申し訳ない。
ああ、いや、それはいいんだけど。
That Haruchan girl still looked at me funny. I mean, you are a douchebag.
That is some intense stink eye.
Like, that is a lot of stink eye.
I love her.
昨日は本当に疲労困憊でね、つい行為に甘えてしまったんだ。
まあ、知恵ねえだしな。雑把だよな。
事情も事情だし、年寄りたちも納得するかな。
Oh, the elders. Uh-oh.
ちなみに会ったのってどこです？
それはね、
下の方の河原だよ。
My words made everyone change their expressions.
それはちょっと。
大騒ぎだ。2日連続で2人もだなんて。
Two people over just 2 days.
もし
What?
かしてまずいこと言っ
Okay.
Mystery.
A mystery's afoot.
いずれバレることよ。さっきあれだけ大騒ぎしちゃったから休みず中に知れちゃったろうし。
君、2日連続で2人もって何のこと？
触らないで、汚い。
Yeah. I wasn't trying to touch her, and I wasn't filthy. Sure, I hadn't had a bath in over a day, but still.
君、何が騒ぎになるの？
タエバあたりが拒否ってなる。
That tells me a whole bunch. Well, that sure sounded bad.
詳しい話を聞かせてくれない？
Okay, you know how to use words and can talk to me. Can you tell me something?
ちょっと説明は難しいんです
Of
けど。
course,
Nope,
it's
it's too
complicated.
まあ
complicated.
ここは田舎なんで、町といろいろ違うってことです。
Things are different here than in the city. Yes, we've established this. This guy here was Oribe-kun. Ignore Chiemi, and he was the easiest person to
ど
talk
うす
to.
ればいいかな？
まあちえみが何とかしましょう。学生諸君はとりあえずご飯行かないと。この混乱には乗るっきゃない。
Me too, Chikamochi. Me too.
乗るっきゃなくないもっち。とりあえず行っちゃいな。私らちょっと遅れていくから。
まあちょっと時間ずらした方がいいよね。揉めそうだし。
さすがやすくん、察しがいいぞ。ごめんけど2人のおもりよろしく。
うん。
もう知恵ね、子供扱いはやめてよ。そうだ、うんこしてやるぞ。
Okay.
Okay.
ほらほら行くぞ、モッチーにはるちゃん。
That sure was a threat.
Yep.
And so the students walked off towards the stairs. It was kind of easy to tell what sort of relationship they had. Anyway.
彼らがこの建物の他の住人？
そういうこと。学生寮だからね、ここ。
Okay. A student dorm in this Hicksville? Still, my senses had betrayed me. There actually were other people here.
ちなみに春秋さん、他の人と出会ってトラブったりしてないよね。
Just an old lady.
But we didn't talk or
一応
anything.
それ警戒してたから。
ならよかった。よし、ちょっとしたら食堂に行きましょう。
Like,
朝食？
yeah.
の朝食は今から食べてください。食堂へは一応面通しをしに行くの。
Okay.
誰と？
To the
よ
elders.
そ者が皿長からやってきたってことに文句を言いそうな人たち。
Okay. Oh, so like that Taiba person, huh?
お世話になります。
いいってことです。その代わり朝のことは秘密で。
そりゃもちろん。ところで、皿長って何？あの河原？
そう、皿長の瀬っていう川だけど、あの辺まとめて皿長って呼
Place
ぶ
has
の。
some cultural significance.
ちょっと曰くのある場所でね。
いわく。
うん。あの川は汚れていて、
Yeah,
死人が
okay.
帰ってくる
I was thinking,
みたいな
so when he
伝説
crossed the
だね。
river, I wonder if it's sort of like crossing like the river Styx in a sense.
Maybe.
So that's why they reacted like
他に
that.
もその手のルールというか、しきたりみたいなのが？
たくさんあります。なので基本、ちえみちゃんにお任せを。
Gladly, on all
ちな
fronts.
みに、身の危険
Am I in danger?
ないない。でも、いろいろ不愉快な思いをする前に、早く出て行
No,
った方
but
が
you
いい
should
よ。
still
Hey,
probably.
Chiemi? Hey, Chiemi?
That's what danger means.
I have questions, Chiemi.
そのための根回しに行くと。
Yeah. The settlement I'd strayed to was a weird place, but at least the guide was reliable.
As far as you know.
Okay. And she wanted me to leave ASAP, huh? I'm wondering if this is kind of like a weird purgatory.
Yeah, kind of the sense I'm getting.
Because it would explain kind of the weird anachronistic
the school uniform
stuff.
I think those kids' names were pretty old-fashioned too.
Yeah,
Like the
Oribe,
boys especially.
Yeah, Oribe Yasu, something like that. That's definitely like an older generation name.
Yeah, but Haru was like super modern compared to the other two.
And so one of the things that kind of like the school uniforms, like her uniform and like her accessories and stuff like that seems a little bit more contemporary than what the other two were wearing. But
they seemed 100% more contemporary, like 1990s. I'm kind of thinking like her little checker belt and that her little armband.
Right, and they came out of their own apartment.
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay.